12 reasons why introverts are incredibly attractive. All right, so we've all encountered those articles, right? You know, the ones that are like 10 ways to make him fall for you. Ugh, it's like, can we retire those cliches already? Like, seriously, it's 2024. But on a serious note, today we're diving into something that's super intriguing to me. We're going to unpack why introverts are actually attractive. And not just attractive in the conventional sense, but on a deeper level. So, if you're ready to ditch the shallow dating advice and explore the captivating world of introverts, buckle up. If you enjoy this kind of topic, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest videos. Let's begin our journey. Chapter 1. Deep Thinkers. Okay, first up, deep thinkers. Introverts are the kings and queens of pondering life's big questions. They're the ones at parties, standing by the snacks, just observing, analyzing, and forming their own unique perspectives. You won't catch them in any mindless gossip circles. They'd rather be off in a corner, having a deep conversation about philosophy, art, or the meaning of the universe. They're the type of people who can talk about a book for hours, dissecting the characters and the plot. They're fascinated by the world around them and constantly seeking to understand it on a deeper level. They challenge you to think differently and see the world from a new perspective. It's like they open up your mind, And the best part is, they're not just deep thinkers themselves, they bring that depth out in you. Seriously, if you ever get the chance to have a deep conversation with an introvert, don't let it pass you by.
Chapter 2. Great Listeners. Okay, so we've established that introverts are deep thinkers, but they're also amazing listeners, which is like a super underrated quality. In a world that's so obsessed with being heard, introverts are content to sit back and actually listen to what you have to say. And I'm not talking about the kind of listening where they're just waiting for their turn to talk. No, they're actually present in the conversation, fully engaged and genuinely interested in what you're saying. Have you ever noticed how, when you're talking to an introvert, they make you feel like you're the only person in the room? And that's because they're not just hearing your words, they're listening to the emotions behind them. They pick up on your tone of voice, your body language, and the things you're not saying out loud. Honestly, being a good listener is a superpower, and introverts have mastered it.
Chapter 3. Loyal Friends. Okay, let's talk about loyalty because introverts are like the definition of ride or die friends. They're not about that flaky fair weather friend life. If they let you into their inner circle, you know it's the real deal. Introverts are super selective about who they let into their lives. They'd rather have a small group of close friends than a huge squad they barely know. And because they value quality over quantity, they put their all into the relationships that matter most. Like, if you're going through a tough time, an introvert will be there for you, no questions asked. They'll offer a listening ear, a shoulder to cry on, and a bottomless supply of Ben & Jerry's. And they won't just disappear when things get tough. They'll be your rock, your constant, the person you can always count on. But it's not just about being there for the tough times. Introverts also know how to celebrate the good times. Honestly, having a loyal friend by your side is like having a superpower.
Chapter 4. Thoughtful and Considerate. So, you know how some people are just oblivious to the people around them? Yeah, that's not introverts. Introverts are masters of thoughtfulness and consideration. They're the ones who will remember your birthday, even if you only mentioned it once in passing. They'll send you a thoughtful text when you're feeling down. And they'll always offer to help out, even if it's just something small. It's like they have this sixth sense for picking up on the needs of others. They pay attention to the little things, the things that most people wouldn't even notice. If you're feeling cold, they'll offer you their jacket without you even having to ask. And it's not just about grand gestures, it's the small, everyday acts of kindness that really make introverts stand out.
Chapter 5. Independent. Okay, let's be real. Needing someone 24/7 can be kinda like a lot. But introverts, they're the opposite of needy. They're independent AF, and it's honestly one of their most attractive qualities. They're totally cool with their own company. They don't need to be surrounded by people all the time to feel validated or entertained. Give them a good book, a cozy blanket, and a cup of tea, and they're good to go. And because they're so comfortable in their own skin, they don't rely on others for their happiness. They're not clingy or demanding. They're perfectly content to do their own thing, pursue their own passions, and march to the beat of their own drum.
Chapter 6, Creative. Okay, so you know how some people are just like bursting with creativity? Yeah, that's totally introverts. They have these incredibly rich inner worlds, and they express themselves in the most amazing ways. Like you'll find introverts who are musicians, writers, artists, dancers, photographers, filmmakers. The list goes on and on. They're drawn to creative pursuits because it allows them to tap into their emotions, explore their thoughts, and share their unique perspectives with the world. And because they spend so much time reflecting and observing, they notice things that other people miss. They see the beauty in the everyday, the extraordinary in the ordinary. And they have this incredible ability to capture those moments and translate them into something truly special.
Okay, so you know those people who are always freaking out like over everything? Yeah, that's not introverts. Introverts are the epitome of chill. They're calm, cool, and collected, even in the midst of chaos. Like, imagine a crazy, stressful situation, right? Everyone's running around like chickens with their heads cut off. But the introvert? They're the eye of the storm. They're not fazed by the chaos. They don't get caught up in the drama. They just stay calm and collected. And it's not that they don't feel stress or anxiety. It's just that they handle it differently. They're more introspective, so they take the time to process their emotions before reacting. They'd rather think things through carefully than make a rash decision. And honestly, that kind of calmness is incredibly attractive.
Okay, so remember how we were talking about introverts being deep thinkers? Well, that also makes them incredibly observant. They're like detectives, picking up on subtle cues and details that most people completely miss. Like they'll notice the way you twirl your hair when you're nervous or the slight change in your tone of voice when you're upset. They pay attention to the smallest details, and they remember everything. And because they're so observant, they're really good at reading people. They can tell when you're not being genuine, when you're hiding something, or when you need someone to talk to. It's like they have this sixth sense for understanding what's going on beneath the surface. And honestly, who wouldn't want to be with someone who sees you like really sees you?
Okay, let's talk about empathy, because introverts are like the most empathetic people you'll ever meet. They have this incredible ability to step into your shoes and understand what you're going through, even if they've never experienced it themselves. It's like they have this emotional intelligence that allows them to connect with people on a deeper level. They don't judge, they don't criticize, they just listen with an open heart and try to understand where you're coming from. And because they're so in tune with their own emotions, they're able to recognize and validate the emotions of others. They get it.
Chapter 10, Reliable. Okay, so you know how some people are all talk and no action? Yeah, that's not introverts. Introverts are the definition of reliable. If they say they're gonna do something, they'll do it. You can always count on them to follow through on their promises. Like if an introvert tells you they'll pick you up at 8 p.m., they'll be there at 7:55, ready to go. They're not gonna flake on you at the last minute or leave you hanging. They value your time and they respect your trust. And it's not just about big commitments, it's the little things too. They're thoughtful, they're considerate, and they always follow through.
Chapter 11. Good at building deep connections. Alright, let's be real, small talk is the worst. Like, who actually enjoys discussing the weather or traffic for an hour? Introverts get it. They'd much rather skip the superficial stuff and dive into those deep, meaningful conversations. They crave connection, but not just any connection. They want something real, something authentic. They'd rather have a few close friends who they can be their true selves with than 100 acquaintances they barely know. And because they're so introspective, they're not afraid to be vulnerable.
Chapter 12, Authentic. Okay, last but not least, let's talk about authenticity, because introverts are like the most genuine people you'll ever meet. They're not afraid to be themselves, even if it means being a little different. They don't feel the need to conform to societal expectations or pretend to be someone they're not. Like you won't catch an introvert trying to be the life of the party if that's not their vibe. They're comfortable in their own skin, and they don't need external validation to feel good about themselves. They're not afraid to embrace their quirks, their passions, and their unique perspectives. Outro be amazing. So there you have it, 12 reasons why introverts are incredibly attractive. They're deep thinkers, amazing listeners, loyal friends, thoughtful and considerate, independent, creative, calm and collected, observant, empathetic, reliable, good at building deep connections, and authentic. Basically, they're pretty much amazing. But honestly, the most attractive quality of all is being comfortable in your own skin. Whether you're an introvert, an extrovert, or somewhere in between, embracing your true self is what makes you truly magnetic. If you enjoyed this thought-provoking discussion, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest videos. Thanks for watching and engaging with us. See you on our next journey.